Alright, so, first movie of the day. It's called The Girl in the Photographs. It was made in 2015. It's rated R, and it's an hour and 38 minutes long. It stars Kal Penn, Claudia Lee, and Kenny Wormald, and is directed by Nick Simon. Yeah. So, let's talk about this movie. At the very, very beginning of it, it gives you a quote by William S. Burroughs that says, "There is in fact something obscene and sinister about photography, a desire to imprison, to incorporate, a sexual intensity of pursuit." I like movies that show quotes at the beginning. I don't know why. It's just like, it's that something to think about thing while you're watching a movie. At the very beginning, they come out of a theater. Apparently, they'd gone to see a horror movie called Blood Relations, so I'll be looking to see if that's an actual movie. It's a small town, so I enjoyed the fact that they incorporated the vehicle for the serial killer as a large red truck with, it's very hillbilly looking. It had the horns on the front and everything. The first victim, they did, the first kidnap, chase scene was, they definitely added suspense to it, because they had the creepy guy, there was this creepy masked half-naked man in her house that she somehow didn't notice. Like, she's flicking lights on and, he just miraculously disappears. You have no idea where he is, and, it's just like, how do you not notice something like that in your own house? And I definitely had some questions for this movie, because some of the stuff is just like, wait, what? Like, for example, after they get the first victim that you see, I believe her name was like Jill or something, like Julie or something like that, but what happens is, after the half-naked masked fat dude gets her, it does a cutscene, and then all of a sudden she's in the back of her car on the side of the road, and the other dude in the pickup truck pulls up. So, first question. She lives in a residential area. Granted, it's like 11:30 at night, but, in order to get anywhere, you have to drive through town. So, how did no one see her in the back of her own car? Because she wasn't drugged or anything. All that really happened to her was that she was, like, tied up. She could sit up, and she was kicking the window and shit like that. So, yeah, how did nobody see that? It just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, and not only that, but the road that they stop on, it looks like it's a main road, kind of heading into town. So how did nobody drive by? This is just another thing that kind of makes you wonder. Anyway, the last thing that you see with that is that they're just taking pictures. Like, they're just taking pictures of her, and you don't really see how she dies or how they kill her or any of that shit. Yeah. And then, next thing you see is the main character, Colleen, going into her workplace, and on the billboard there's a picture of this woman who's been murdered. And, first question, how did they get into a locked grocery store? Because they didn't have a key. Later on, you do see them entering through the back, but it didn't make any sense, because all you see is, like, he's running his hand along the corner of the door, and then miraculously it opens. Ooh. So, what the fuck? Yeah. And she lives in a small town. She's got an apartment of her own, but she's got like 4 or 5 locks on the door, but the only one that you ever see her use is the chain lock. So, you know, I mean, just granted, but that it's a safety thing, you know, but why? Why all the locks if you're not going to use them? Like, they could have made some use of them. You never really get a sense of how much time has passed between each of their killings. Because, you know, it's all of these women are apparently from different towns. And, you know, places that aren't even, like, close by. But at the same time, it's just like, you know, why are there no missing persons reported? Actually, I think I might have an answer for that, now that I think about it. They keep their cell phones. And, like, every time they get a text, they reply. So maybe that's why. I mean, you never know. So maybe that's why there's no missing persons reports filed or anything like that. They have a lot of good characters in the movie. The photographer, his name is Peter. He's got that kind of I'm a douchebag, over-entitled personality. But he's like a stoner as well. So he's always out of his mind and shit. So it's enjoyable to see them have give him kind of a human side. They went pretty good on the nudity, I guess. Because, I mean, the other models are Victoria and can't remember what the other guy's name is, but anyway, they have a whole sex scene and stuff like that, and you see a lot of tits, so there's that's good, I guess. But yeah, anyway, they've got some good characters, the ones like, oh my god, I can't believe he died. But then they also have, like, the characters where you're like, thank god that guy's dead, he totally deserved it. Example of a good character that you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he died, was Chris, the assistant for Peter, the photographer. And, he's a really nice guy. And basically, his job is to apologize for Peter because Peter's a douchebag and he doesn't know how to do that. But not only that, he's the typical assistant, like, do all of these things that I don't want to do type thing. But I was really sad when he died. I was like, oh, come on. But then there's, the characters that you're like, ha, that guy totally deserved it. Example being Colleen's ex-boyfriend, Ben. Real douchebag. And Tom, the serial killer, who's, like, obsessed with Colleen, like, totally in love with her, wants to whatever, but basically he gets Ben, and then he's sitting there and he's talking to him like, you should have treated her better and everything. And I enjoyed the fact that they pretty much the last thing that Tom says to Ben is in an hour we're going to cut you in half and put you in two garbage bags. You should have treated her better. So that was pretty cool. I mean, they did in fact cut him in half and put him in 2 garbage bags, but this is the fucked up thing. You have no idea what they did with them, because you see them, Tom and his brother or whatever, carrying 2 trash bags with assumedly halves of Ben over to this house where the photographer and Colleen and all of them are staying, but then you never see what they do with them. Because, like, that's the last you see of them, and then you see a bunch of stuff in the house, and then all of a sudden they start killing other people. But, it's just, I was kind of disappointed. I really wanted to see what they were going to do with it. Because it didn't appear that they were doing much photography with that, which seems to be their whole big thing. Take pictures of the shit that you've done. As far as Tom's partner, the bigger guy, he's I think he's pretty much there to be the muscle, because Tom's a really skinny guy, so he can't really abduct people. I mean, he probably could if he wanted to, but I guess it's just easier to have his brother help him, because pretty much every time that you see his brother, he's doing the heavy lifting. Like, he's kidnapping them, he's running around making sure that everybody gets killed, and Tom's just pretty much there getting his rocks off, taking pictures and shit. But I still have no idea what his brother's name is, and the entire movie I do not recall him saying a single word. But I mean, I guess he's a crucial part of it, because he's the one who cuts him up, kills him, kidnaps him, does all that. So, I mean, yeah, the movie itself was really good. They followed the storyline and everything. One thing I'm still not sure about, their next target receives a picture of what they did to Colleen and all of them. But this is what I don't understand. I don't know if Colleen is dead or not, because in the picture, everybody else is mutilated. Blood, guts, the whole 9 yards. But she's just kind of sitting there, like, no visible wounds or anything. She just looks like she's in shock. So I don't know if she's dead or not. She just kind of got that glassy-eyed, holy shit, I can't believe this is happening look. Fun fact, though, their new victim, or whatever, is the girl that, Julie, the first victim that you see, it's her friend that she went to the movies with, which I thought was pretty interesting. So yeah. They definitely stayed along with the whole gruesome murder, take pictures of what we've done type of thing. They definitely didn't hold back on that, but they kept nice twists and turns, so you weren't exactly sure what's going on. Because honestly, at first, I mean, you never really see Tom's face until certain parts of the movie, so the first person that I thought was actually the killer was Ben, because they have the same body build and kind of the same haircut. Like, Tom's got this weird flop over, greased back type of thing, whereas Ben's hair is real short. I think it's buzzed, so it looks really similar if you're not looking too close. But yeah, I honestly thought, I was like, oh my god, her boyfriend's the killer, But no, later on you see him at the store and you're like, that's the guy. That's the guy. And I also like the fact that after everyone's dead but Colleen, she goes down and his brother's not wearing the mask anymore, but he still is, and he sees her and he takes it off and he's all like, Colleen, it's okay. Like she's gonna trust him. So, it's like that whole psychosis thing. I enjoyed that, because there's serial killers usually have their own twisted rationale for what they do, but it was nice to see that whole, yes, I am a freaking Fruit Loop, I don't realize it, but trust me anyway. It was nice to see something along those lines. But yeah, I mean, good storyline, good actors, they followed through on this movie. They really did. I honestly was not disappointed one bit, which is usually hard for me, because especially with a lot of the gory thriller type serial killer horror movies, it's hard to to do something that's not overdone. And I mean, they, as dumb as it sounds, they were very elegant with how they performed as far as murders. It was just the right amount of gore, but cover it up so that it's believable, you know? The makeup had to have been fantastic for this movie, especially considering the fact that a lot of them got their throats slit. Like Victoria, for example. There was a gape in her neck, you know, just it wasn't that cheesy squirting blood all over the place with every heartbeat. It was just kind of like she was lying down and, you know, blood was coming out believably and, you know, just kind of resting in the hollows of her neck, not just squirting everywhere. So it was more believable that way. You know, I mean, overall, it was a really, really good movie. I would definitely watch it again. I would definitely recommend it to people who enjoy horror movies, you know? It was a twist that I was not expecting. I didn't really understand the whole obsession with cat food. Like, he would treat the people that he had locked up in a cage like a cat. So I don't know if there was something that I was missing on that or not, but I enjoyed the fact that they incorporated that. I mean, it added more enjoyment to when you first see him at the grocery store buying one single thing of cat food, because you'd already seen the other scene where he was trying to get Jill, Colleen's friend, to eat said cat food, so you already know what he was going to use that for anyway. But yeah, overall, like, this movie was really good. I would definitely watch it again. It was much better than, like, the ABCs of Death and everything. But as far as the title goes, like, it says The Girl in the Photographs. Well, there's several girls and several photographs. So who knows? And not only that, but at the bottom of every image that she finds, there's a number. So, like, the last number that I saw was, like, 8. So, you know, it's like, that's how many singular people that they've killed. But then they go ahead and kill all of these people from, you know, Los Angeles that are there. So, you know, it was a good movie. I definitely liked it. I'm going to see if that blood relations thing is a real movie, because if it is, I'm definitely going to watch it. But yeah, if you've seen this movie, if not, you know, if you want more comments, if you want to know more about it, if you liked this review, you know, anything, just pretty much anything. If you have a suggestion of something that you've seen that you think I would like, you know, no matter how old, I will do my best to find it. Just let me know. I really look forward to telling you guys about the next movie, especially if blood relations is an actual thing. I'll see you guys in the next review.